We hope you're all okay at home. We are all working hard at school. Well done for all the fantastic work that you all sent in last week. We've enjoyed looking at all the stories that you wrote. You did a really, really good job. So I'm going to talk through today's literacy lesson, which is focused on using alternative verbs and powerful adverbs. They are things that we have taught lots and lots about in Year 4 already, so you should know about them already, but today we're going to get some good practice in. So first of all, I am going to think of some alternative verbs to replace liked. Liked is quite a boring verb. We use it quite a lot, but there are many, many other verbs that we can use which are a little bit more interesting or a little bit more exciting in your writing. So, we're in the past tense. I can see that because it says liked instead of just like. So other words that I can think of that mean the same as liked are enjoyed. For example, Mr. Labelle liked football, or Mr. Labelle enjoyed football. We could have adored. Abeline adored Edward, or Miss Shaw adored her teddy bear. We could have admired, which is when you don't just like somebody, but you really respect them. For example, the boy admired Lionel Messi because he was such a good footballer. Okay, so there's three alternative verbs, three different verbs that mean similar things to liked, but are a little bit more exciting. What we would like you to do now, please, is pause the video and think of three alternative verbs that mean the same or similar as went, looked, said, and ate. And you can write those on a piece of scrap paper now. Okay, thank you for Year 4. So hopefully you've come up with a few different verbs that mean similar things to these words here, and you can use those in your work later on today. So what we're going to do is look at lots of different Mr. Men characters, Mr. Men and Little Miss characters. They all have an interesting personality. They're all very different in their personalities. And so we can't always say the same thing about them. And we can use alternative verbs or different adverbs to describe and to explain what these characters might be doing. So we've got a sentence here. Mr. Greedy ate food. Mr. Greedy clearly really likes food, but that's quite a boring sentence, and I think we could add a bit more detail to this sentence by using a more interesting verb and adding an adverb to the sentence as well. For example, we can say, Mr. Greedy chomped happily on his pizza. So the verb I have used instead of ate is chomped, and I've added happily to show just how much he enjoys eating food. Okay? I'd like you now to have a go at writing a sentence about Little Miss Chatterbox. I'd like you to use one verb and one adverb in your sentence. Remember, adverbs are those verbs that add a bit more detail to your verbs. So, for example, happily, quietly, noisily, slowly, quickly, cautiously, and many, many more that we've spoken about already. So just take a few seconds now, pause the video, and write a sentence about Little Miss Chatterbox. And I'm going to do the same as well. Okay, Year 4, so hopefully you have written an exciting, interesting sentence about Little Miss Chatterbox. I'm going to do one myself as well, and I'm going to say, annoyingly, comma, because my adverb is at the start of my sentence. Annoyingly, Little Miss Chatterbox babbled, which means she's talking lots and lots and lots, babbled all the way home. So we can see that I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, because I've used annoyingly at the start of my sentence, and instead of just saying she talked or she said, I have said babbled, which means she's doing lots and lots and lots of talking. Okay, so your task today is to look at the Google Doc that we have uploaded, which has 8 different Mr. Men or Little Miss characters on there. We've got Mr. Quiet, Mr. Noisy, Mr. Lazy, Mr. Bump, Little Miss Bossy, Mr. Grumpy, Little Miss Sunshine, and Mr. Tickle. What we would like you to do is write an interesting sentence about each of these characters. Each one of your sentences must use an alternative verb, so an interesting verb, and an interesting adverb, just like the ones I have shown you. We will upload an adverb word map and an alternative verb word map, so you can have a look at those to help you. When you have done that, if you fancy a bit more of a challenge, you can edit a sentence so that the adverb is at the beginning of the sentence, but remember that will mean you need to put a comma somewhere. And also, you might want to try to add a simile to one or more of your sentences to add even more detail. Please upload those sentences onto onto Google Classroom, and we will give you some feedback on those. Thank you very much, Year 4. Good luck.